Hello traders, welcome to today's video. It is Thursday, the 30th of November, which means almost December, almost the last month of the year. It is the last day of the month, and the last day of the month is usually a pretty choppy day to trade. So expect some random wicks, both up and down. Expect some drops in open interest, expect some choppiness, expect some weirdness. It's going to be one of those days. But I'm going to start off here with this chart because I just want to mention something about it. I posted this onto Twitter a few days ago. This is just a fractal. It's this fractal. Okay, it is this. Yeah, essentially, that's all it is. It's just that I've just made bigger. But this has been my highest engaged tweet, with the biggest majority of people agreeing with the outcome that I've had for quite some time, which is interesting to me and which makes me still think bears are just still so in denial right now about the way that the market is, and are just hoping for an outcome that, okay, I do think we're going to get a flush at some point. But it is right now, the fact that this post and this chart has had more engagement than anything else that I've posted recently, it's telling me something. Okay, so I'm going to go over to this one now, and this just shows what we are still in, which is the facts. Okay, the fact of the matter is we are increasing in speed and momentum to the upside, and until that is lost, we cannot really predict with a high probability that there is significant downside to come. So please remember, I keep repeating it, when you're trading with the trend, you are consistently right until you're wrong. If you're trading against it, you're consistently wrong until you're right, and you've got to hit a home run. And that's why everyone that's posting, reacting, agreeing with the fractal I posted, I just found some candles that went down. They're just hoping for the home run right now. And I think this is a condition that we're seeing in the market right now. I did the video update yesterday where I do think for the first time ever, like, this was some weakness that we saw within the charts. Okay, this move here in particularly, entirely perps driven, spot really not kind of taking any control on this at all. And yeah, basically I started to think like this is a good area to go short again. So once again, I have taken a short position that I have taken some profit on. I did take a long yesterday. It was one just more of like a little scalp trade. I have since gone short after we moved into the golden pocket earlier on, and I do think that we're seeing a correction today, but right now there's a bunch of things that are lining up. So let's just go onto this chart and we can take a look at things. So we'll start off here with the 4 hour. Okay, because the 4 hour makes a lot of sense. Here's where I can redraw this stuff in a minute, it's fine. This is where we had the impulse up that broke. We've got the top of the, like, basically your imbalances here around about that 37,500 area. Okay, so just make that dotted. I don't need to extend it, right? This is where your imbalances are within the chart, and we've got a little bit of a gap here that we haven't yet sorted out. So this basically being a nice area of support. It's also just below it, you've got your point of control. If we are to just dip into this, I would imagine this becomes the point of control of this range as well. On some exchanges it already is. So you're coming back into an area of volume, and I do expect a correction to come back down to here. That doesn't mean I'm necessarily bearish, but I am expecting that correction right now, and this is just continuing, like I say, with the increase in speed and momentum. Okay, every single move that we're getting is retracing less and less and less and less and less, and we keep making these higher highs. So go down onto the 30-minute time frame, and how can you then draw this? So what I would be looking for myself is, okay, we've taken the highs again. All right, 5th rejection now from 38,500, which is why you do have to be cautious and why you do not want to be getting into longs at resistance. Like, you want to be getting those little scalps, and if you can catch them, great. And the same with the shorts, if you can catch them, great. But overall, like, we're still trending higher, and there is good levels that we can be looking at to take as support. So what do we have down there? We've got our weekly open, we've got our previous week open, we've got the daily level that's yet to be tested. So this gives us a nice zone between that 37,200 to 37,500 that I would look for as support. What we would also have there, if we're going to take a one-to-one, then if we just dip a little bit lower, okay, this gives you your typical measured like ABCD corrective move, where then you are looking at basically this being your A, your B, your C coming into your 618, and then you're looking for that 1.618 to come down here, and that would just be a measured corrective move similar to what we saw from this one previously. So no aggression, nothing too significant going on here. So yeah, that 37.2 to 37.45 looks like a good area that you would want to see hold. Now, if you start to lose that, right, if you lose this green box, and fine with WooX coming down here, reclaiming, holding around here for a little while, and if it gets a bounce. But if we do start to trade and we do this and we then backtest this level and then we're dropping lower, I think it becomes inevitable that we take the Monday lows. And at that stage, that's when you can start to become more aggressive to shorts. Okay, so what happens if you take Monday lows and we're spending some time down here? That would be the first change of market structure that we've had for 6 weeks, 2 months, something like that. So then obviously a bounce back into this area, you can be more aggressive on the short positions, and you have at that stage a higher probability set up to trade. Okay, trading isn't about what you want to see happen, what you hope is going to happen. This on the chart, this is just what a lot of people are hoping for. We do not have the data to suggest that that is even within the realms of possibility right now. Okay, it's just, we've seen stuff like this happen before. It might happen again. But for now, still, even though I'm taking these short positions, and I do think that 5 tests of resistance is a little bit fishy, we are making higher lows. So you've got to be aware of that. And as long as we are maintaining this trend higher, then for me, it's all okay. Let's look at where the moving averages are again as well, though. So if we are going to get that move down, you've got to be looking at the 50. That takes us into where the point of control of this is going to be. So is this going to load? Do I just need to do a fixed range? Nothing's going to load. There we go. Okay, so you see where the point of control is there. If we are going to get a sweep, then we're probably coming back down into this area and potentially getting a bounce below that big wick down that we had previously. Beyond that, okay, then then when you start to break down, then you look for the short positions, because you can catch trades within this range. You can catch a short here, which has an invalidation up here, and you're looking to trade it down there, and that gives you a higher probability setup. That is one that you're more likely to be able to win, rather than just trying to like trade these home runs and keep getting stopped out of them, which is what most people right now are still doing. They're still trying to hit those home runs and getting stopped out on every single occasion. If we go on to EXO, so I'm just going to show you a couple of things on here. Let's bring this up. Let's have a look. That's the wrong thing. I'm moving around. Oh my god, this isn't loaded properly. We want to load the Binance thing. But also what I want to show you is just a reminder. Okay, we are seeing a lot of spot selling today. A lot of spot selling today. So that is now creating bullish divergence with the lows that we put on Monday. But right now we're not seeing an open interest increase from perpetuals to suggest that this is going to continue to fall down to this extent. Now, what I would say is if we do see the open interest start to like significantly build up as we're moving down, so if we go on to maybe the 30-minute time frame, and we start to see an acceleration to the downside with a lot of shorts opening, and we're building the negative delta on the perpetuals with an increase in open interest as well, then that is what I would imagine will be enough to start to break us down more significantly. For now, it's this move down. Okay, yes, we're starting to build a little bit within this area. Okay, but as a whole, relatively flat on the open interest. Shorts at the moment, relatively flat. We had that drive down earlier. That has now subsided. Okay, and unless we start to see this pick up with them being able to move price, then not looking at anything too aggressive at this stage. Longs are just, yeah, fairly out of the market right now. But yeah, what this says to me with spot is it's just a lot of profit taking, which is understandable. Okay, end of the month, going into Christmas, prices at the highest point that they've been for the entire year. I've been taking a lot of profit over the past couple of days. I've been reducing my exposure to crypto. I've been reducing my exposure to altcoins. But price mainly right now is driven with perps and driven with perpetuals. So as long as this is being absorbed by the market, which for now it is, then it's not necessarily a bad thing. And I think this is still something that a lot of people that are looking for significantly lower are looking for, is like, oh, but spot's not buying, so therefore it's not bullish. But to me, that shows that this has got a long way to go, because we're in a stage right now where we're repricing. Okay, so the whole market is repricing, and it's repricing by existing participants. So this is people that already have money in the game, they're already in crypto, and there's a money movement going around. We're creating wealth within ourselves rather than advertising to new participants. And generally, markets don't top until they have started to advertise to new participants. So we do need to be aware of that. I'm not saying that we're going to go into a mad bull run, but new liquidity coming into the market, for me, would be a sign that then, okay, yeah, we've got new money in here. Now that's liquidity that we can dump onto. Whereas at the moment, if there is a dump, we're just dumping on ourselves, essentially, because there hasn't been that big influx of new money to come into the market. So it will just be movement around between the likes of you and I, who are already invested in this, just in and out of USDT. This doesn't really, the narrative isn't kind of there to say we've topped right now. So that's just my opinion on it, and that's kind of the data that we're seeing right now. Obviously, everything can change, right? We do not know what's going to happen within the market, but as a trader myself, I've learned enough lessons in the past to know that trading against the trend, against the higher time frame trend, is not the best idea overall. And that takes out, like, I'm not really talking about low time frames. I do this as a daily update, so we want to be aware of what's going to happen on those higher time frames. If you want the lower time frame stuff, like when we've been taking little scalp longs from here, when we're taking the short from the 618, all of these kind of things, then you can go and join the crew, because that's where we're trading the little movements, where the macro doesn't really matter. But what I like to do with these updates is just to inform you of what I'm seeing, the general picture of where we are. Now, going through another couple of bearish things, just in case. So, dollar bouncing off of the 618, to be expected. Okay, so if this does get a big bounce, and let's say we end up back here and we're holding here, and then you're looking for another move up, that's going to be bad for the markets. And that would lead to a likely situation where you see the NASDAQ pull back, where you see the S&P 500 pullback, and where you see Bitcoin pullback. But for now, until proven otherwise, dollar remains in a downtrend, crypto remains in an uptrend, indices remain in an uptrend, stocks remain in an uptrend, and so you trade it in that direction. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. I don't think there's anything more to say on this. Do we want to have a quick look? Do I have the liquidation heat maps and stuff. Yes, actually, this is kind of useful to show you guys these. Let me just bring these up very quickly. There we go. So what we see here, the liquidation heat map, we've got a new cluster of liquidations. Let me just refresh this to make sure everything's okay. And then we'll look at, I'm logged out of Velo. Is it going to work? Basically, you know the area I was saying, yeah, 20, 37, 200, right? That area. There's some liquidations down there that have built up within this range. Come on, come on, come on. Load for me. Load for me. There we go. Okay, so you see them here. We've got this cluster of liquidations below yesterday's low. So these are people that got into long positions within, I'd say, this move down, thinking that we're going to break to new highs. Once again, that's the highest concentration that we've got within this range, unless we're going to go for a mega dump. So that area there of that 27.2 to 27.400, hit more liquidations, drop off some open interest again. And once you've done that, which we've been consistently doing, you can then go for the highs again, because it still remains that shorts are the most vulnerable. Until, again, like we say, until the market starts to prove that otherwise. So yeah, thank you very, very, very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do like, comment, subscribe, do all of those kind of things. Follow on Twitter and everything else. And I will see you all in the next video. Cheers. Bye-bye.